நேற்று ஈவினிங் ரோட்டரி இன்டர்நேஷனல் குளோபல் கிராண்ட் ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸ்ல 7வது ஆமா சர்வீஸ் டு தி என்வாயன்மெண்ட்டை கொண்டு வந்திருக்காங்க. இது நம்ம எல்லாருமே பெருமைப்பட வேண்டிய விஷயம். இன்றைய சிச்சுவேஷன்ல நம்ம லாக்டவுன் 6.0ல இருக்கோம். எக்கனாமி பயங்கர மோசமான நிலைமையில இருக்கு. எல்லாருமே அவங்க பிசினஸ எப்படி மீண்டு கொண்டு வர போறோம்னு தான் யோசிச்சுட்டு இருக்கோம். இது ஒரு சேலஞ்சிங்கான ஃபேஸ். எல்லா சேலஞ்சஸ்குள்ளேயும் ஒரு ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி இருக்குன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. இந்த சேலஞ்சுக்குள்ள இருக்க ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டியை நழுவ விட்டுறக்கூடாது. ஏன்னா ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி நாக்ஸ் பட் ஒன்ஸ் அப்படின்னு இங்கிலீஷ்ல ஒரு ப்ராவர்பே இருக்கு. அந்த ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸை நம்மளுக்கு சுட்டி காமிக்கவும் அந்த சேலஞ்சஸ்ல இருந்து மீண்டு வரதுக்கான வழிகள் சொல்லவும் தான் நம்மளோட ஸ்பீக்கர் சுந்தர் சார் வந்திருக்காரு. அறிவோம்.
தேங்க்யூ Annette Varun, excellent. இன்னியோட
சூப்பர் வருண்.
சூப்பர். ஆக்சுவலாக இன்னைக்கு வந்து எல்லா ஆனட்ஸும் இந்த டாபிக் வந்து மோர் ரிலவெண்ட் டு ஆல் பிஸ்னஸ் மேன். பட் இந்த இதை கண்டக்ட் பண்ணுறது எல்லாமே ஆனட்ஸ். எதுக்காகனா இது பிஸ்னஸ் மேனுக்கு இருந்தாலும் அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ், அவங்க இன்ட்ரெஸ்டடாக இதை கண்டக்ட் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்றதுக்காக எல்லா ஆனட்ஸும் வந்திருக்காங்க. தேங்க்யூ ஆல் த ஆனட்ஸ் ஃபார் யுவர் எக்ஸலண்ட் knowledge and presentation. Now I move on to next agenda. It's an introduction of the guest speaker. I request Sridharan to introduce the guest speaker of the day.
Bala,
Yes, sir.
Before that,
Yeah.
just check whether it is YouTube live is on or not, because I am not able to see the YouTube live on my screen.
Okay.
No.
Raji madam, please host the Ramesh host ஆகிடுங்க.
Okay, before introduction, I could see more ISSM students. I welcome all the students of ISSM college. Thank you, Ranjit. Thanks for bringing the students. I think this will be a good opportunity for the students. They are pursuing their MBA, so it will be very good for them. So thanks, ISM manager Ranjit, if you are in the line.
Thank you so much, sir.
One second.
Yeah. Welcome.
ரமேஷ் யூடியூப் போட்டிங்களா?
இல்ல யூடியூப்ல லாகின் பண்ணனும். எனக்கு லாகின் அக்கவுண்ட் டீடைல் வேணுமே. சிவாத அக்கவுண்ட் டீடைல்ஸ் எனக்கு டெக்ஸ்ட் பண்ணுங்க.
ஓகே. இல்ல ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணிட்டு பண்ணிடலாமா?
இல்ல நீங்க சிவா டெக்ஸ்ட் பண்ணுங்களா, நான் பண்ணிடுறேன்.
ஜூமர் ஐடியா?
ஆமா. இல்ல யூடியூப் ஐடி தெரியுமா உங்களுக்கு?
தெரியாதா?
ஒரே ஒரு செகண்ட். ஒன் செகண்ட் அப்படியே ஜஸ்ட் ஹோல்ட் பண்ணுங்க, நான் பேசிடுறேன் சிவாட்ட.
ரமேஷ் சிவாவே லாகின் பண்ணிருக்காரு.
இல்ல
அது நான் பண்ணிடுறேன். Shiva is not feeling well today.
பாலா யூஸ்
Okay. And I saw his channel.
He's not feeling well.
Okay. Has to be. All the 1 year of logging.
Yeah. Vasanthi madam, welcome.
பாலா நான் சிவா எடுக்கல, நான் ரெக்கார்டிங்கே போட்டுறேன். தென் அதுக்கப்புறம் அதை அப்டேட் பண்ணி
ரெக்கார்டிங் போடுங்க, அப்புறம் யூடியூப் பண்ணிக்கலாம். Okay. Yes, Sridharan, I request you to introduce the speaker today. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning to all. I am Sridharan, Youth Service Director in the Rotary Club of Gindi. I welcome my friend Sundar Ishwar. I know him through another forum called Yes. Sir, good morning, sir. Sundar Ishwar, sir. Good morning. I'll read out the small profile of Mr. Sundar Ishwar. Sundar Ishwar D is known as, normally we used to call him Ishwar. He is the founder director of Purple Pond Group of Companies and a company called Take Me to the World. It's a travel company. He's a graduate of science, started his career in his uncle's garments industry, and then he went to work for a leading stockbrokers of Madras Stock Exchange. He was an officiating arbiter for dispute resolution and also served as in the committee on trade issue in National Stock Exchange. He co-founded a company in the healthcare equipment space and was able to successfully grow and sell the company to private equity funds. That is major achievement. Currently, he is actively involved in running his company called Purple Pond Investment Advisory Private Limited, Company 1, Company 2, Purple Pond Insurance Broker Private Limited, and a travel company called Take Me to the World, which is already mentioned. So these are the companies he is running. And on his personal thing, he values his relationship. That's the reason when I called him initially, immediately he accepted it. So he has a large group of friends, and is high is an avid trekker, loves reading books, watching award-winning movies, listen to jazz music, gardening, and soak in Eastern philosophy. In his family side, he lives with his joint family, happily married with Mrs. Ishwari, and is blessed with son and daughter. Both of them are pursuing their professional education presently. His major ambition is giving lives to financial abundance. The number of lives he has marked is 100,000 lives. That is, which is equal to 1 lakh lives. Welcome, sir. Ishwar sir, the floor is yours. You can go ahead and speak. Hello.
Thank you, Chair. And request guest speaker to unmute yourself, and floor is yours, sir.
Can't hear him, yeah. Mr. Ishwar sir, we can't hear you.
Sundar sir, unmute yourself.
Screen it shows unmuted only.
Screen shows unmuted only.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Please, sir, Sundar sir, kekliya.
I think there's something wrong with this microphone.
With this microphone.
We can ask him to check.
Can you hear me now?
Is it, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear now?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, better.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's clear now.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
So, is it clear now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir, sir.
yes.
Yes.
Fine. Yeah, so wish you all a very happy morning, and thank you, Sridhar, for the introduction. I was told that it contains a lot of businessmen, but I can see that the second generation is also coming into this thing. So what you call as ANETs and everything. So wish you a very happy morning to all the Rotarians, and I will take some time to take you through the current situation. And what we are trying to go through this session is to sensitize you to the politics and policies that are available around now, and how it can have an impact on our business. So I'll start this thing, and at the end of the session, I'll be open for questions. So.
For screen sharing, you have a green button in bottom row, sir.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do. And
నాకు కూడా కుదరదమ్మా.
So bottom of the panel, there is a screen share.
yeah, I am pressing it. Only thing is, I am wondering why this is not able to open up, and I am trying to open it and share the file. Oh.
எனக்கு வாட்ஸ்அப்ல அனுப்புறீங்களா? நான் ஷேர் பண்றேன்.
ஒரே நிமிஷம். யூசுவலா இது வரைக்கும் எல்லாமே ஷேர் ஆயிட்டு இருக்கு. இன்னைக்கு என்னன்னு தெரியல, ஷேர் ஆக மாட்டேங்குது.
உங்களுக்கு எனேபிளா இருக்கு இல்லையா அந்த ஸ்கிரீன் ஷேரிங்?
screen sharing enable I can see the green screen. I can open it, and I don't know why I'm not able to. Just hold on. Okay, I will do one thing. I will also log in through my iPad, and maybe I will that will help me to.
phone korama?
Huh? நான் iPadலயே login பண்றேன். Maybe I can share it in my iPad from my iPad.
Initial number.
Okay,
சுந்தர்
சார் உங்க ஆடியோ கேட்கல. உங்க ஆடியோ கேட்கல சார். சுந்தர் சார்.
அன்மியூட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. சுந்தர் சார் அன்மியூட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க.
சுந்தர் சார் அன்மியூட் பண்ணுங்க. சுந்தர் சார் அன்மியூட் பண்ணுங்க.
I have unmuted myself.
இப்பதான் கேக்குது.
Okay, யார்கிட்ட நான் whom can I share my file with? I think I am having some challenges in sharing that.
பாலா நம்பர் இருந்துச்சுன்னா வாட்ஸ்அப் பண்ணிடுங்க. பாலா நம்பர் இருந்துச்சுன்னா வாட்ஸ்அப் பண்ணிடுங்க. பாலா உங்களோட சிஸ்டம்ல லாகின் வாட்ஸ்அப் லாகின் பண்ணுங்க, டவுன்லோட் பண்ணிட்டு ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க.
இருக்கு வாட்ஸ்அப். எனக்கு நான் இப்போ வாட்ஸ்அப் பண்ண போறேன் சுந்தர் சார்.
எஸ்,
நான் இப்போ ஹாய் மெசேஜ் அனுப்புறேன்.
ஓகே.
இந்த டிலேல ஒரு 8 பேர் ஜாயின் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. பெட்டர்.
Yes, I have got your listing. பாலா சார் உங்களுக்கு அனுப்பிச்சிட்டேன் வாட்ஸ்அப்ல. ஓபன் பண்ணுங்க.
ஓகே சார். யா Naresh, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Sundar, screen தெரியுதா?
Yeah, I can see your screen. You have to open it.
நீங்க வந்து பாலா உங்களோட வாட்ஸ்அப் ஸ்கிரீனை ஷேர் பண்ணிருக்கீங்க. நீங்க
download that. Yeah,
PPT டவுன்லோட் பண்ணுங்க. PPT டவுன்லோட் பண்ணிட்டு ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's okay?
Open பண்ணுங்க. Open பண்ணுங்க.
Open.
PDF ஓபன் பண்ணுங்க.
ஓபன் பண்ணிட்டேனே.
PDF ஓபன் ஆகல. PDF ஓபன் பண்ணுங்க.
சரிங்க, நான் உங்களுக்கு அனுப்புறேன், நீங்க பண்ணிரீங்களா?
ஓகே. நீங்க பாலா PDF ஓபன் பண்ணிட்டு ஸ்கிரீன் ஷேரிங்ல போய் நீங்க என்ன பண்ணுங்க, PDF லொகேஷன் காமிச்சு விடுங்க.
சரி, ஓகே. ஒரு நிமிஷம்.
Chrome tabல PDF இருக்கும். அந்த PDF செலக்ட் பண்ணுங்க பாலாஜி. Chrome tabல PDF இருக்கும். You need to select the PDF tab and then display it. பிடிஎஃப் தனியா தான் வெளியே ஓப்பன் ஆயிருக்கு, அதனால வர ப்ராப்ளம்.
ஓகேவா?
Hi,
Naresh ji.
Perfect.
Super.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bala. And
Yeah.
apologies for this long speech. We can go to the next slide. Okay, so this is a small slide I have put for us to realize what we are going through. என்னன்னா நிறைய pessimism இருக்கு. Even amongst business friends that I know, lot of them of us are pessimistic. So ஒரு சின்ன comparison between what happened 100 years back and now. So correct exactly around 112 years back Spanish flu ஒன்னு இருந்துச்சு. அப்ப அதுல பாத்தீங்கன்னா 1/3 of the world population got infected. 50 கோடி people. So whereas Corona la pathina, most of the Western countries, at least Europe, it has got tapered off, and India and other countries we are seeing it actually having rising right now. But we have so far been able to see only 98 lakh people getting infected. I am not saying it's a great, it is good that we are having 98 lakh people. I am not saying that. But what I am saying is the impact that we are seeing is far less than what we are all fearing for. That is number one. Number two, at that time, around 1.7 crores to 10 crore people are believed to have died against 5 lakh people right now. And at that point of time, it affected most of the countries except China. Ironically, now it has started in China and it has affected most of the countries. Okay. So then the third thing, the final thing is, at that time, the world economy was predominantly into manufacturing or into agriculture. So fortunately for us, even though the whole world has come to a lockdown, we are able to see services industries functioning, some of the manufacturing industries working. World over, the agriculture is actually doing very, very well. We have all been able to send money, receive money, our supplies of food items is intact, medicines are intact. So the world has come a long way unlike before. In spite of people being in isolation, we are able to see that a lot of activities are near normal. Only challenge is we are all at home, and we have also learned how to do work from remote operations. And very interestingly, if you see, we are all so much worried about 5 lakh people dying in this world because of a pandemic. But every year, around 2.73 lakhs I had taken a couple of days back, but now it is 5 lakhs. Every year, around 4.5 lakh people died due to tuberculosis. Now, TB also has very similar symptoms, but we are not at all bothered. எதுக்காக இதை சொல்றேன் அப்படின்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா, there are a lot of other things which are happening in the world right now, and it has always been happening, but somehow we are very fixated with this particular problem. Next slide, sir. Okay. So what is the current economic situation? Obviously, we are all worried about the disruption. Disruption அப்படின்னா என்னன்னா, supply chains disrupt ஆயிருக்கு. There has not been much billing. Collection has been very poor. Most companies have lack of manpower. And which are the industries which are affected? Industries, agriculture in states like Punjab and Haryana, which were dependent on migrant labor. Those kind of states have also had an impact due to all this thing. States like Bihar, UP and all have actually benefited from migration, reverse migration. States like Punjab and Haryana got affected due to the migration. Restaurants. These were all the businesses which are predominantly using migrant labor. Then there is a fear of future business, which is very, very real in travel company. I myself run a travel company in New Zealand. So all the bookings inward to New Zealand for the next 1 year has been completely stopped. We also run tours to South America. We have an office in South America and New Zealand. Both these places, completely the business is down, and it's closed. And I don't think for another 1 year there will be any business in travel and hospitality. Hospitality again, places like hotels and other things, they have been able to convert it into some kind of a place where people can stay for, isolation. But otherwise, the hospitality industry is almost dead. Automobile, the public transport automobile is a hit. Private automobile may have presence going forward. Theaters, wherever people are meeting and exchanging, theaters, sabas.
Bala, we have to mute others, Bala.
1 minute. Ramesh?
6.5.
1 minute.
Sir, you unmute yourself and speak, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So wherever the people are meeting in public, all those places have also got affected. And then hospitals. A lot of people are thinking hospitals are making money now. Hospitals' main income comes from elective surgeries like your cataract or replacement of joints and all those things. Those things have got affected. And that is why you will see sometimes certain users saying that hospitals are overcharging. They are also going through a lot of challenges because their income stream on elective surgeries are affected. Then what's another thing? On a political level, there's a lot of anger against China. Europe and US and many developed...
account active.
Okay, there's a lot of anger against China because many countries feel that China didn't release the numbers early. They didn't share the virus strain early, and that is why. And WHO made a false warning saying that it doesn't happen human to human spread. So there's a lot of anger against China because even the current WHO chief was actually installed by China. And he was the foreign health minister of an African country, and he already had some accusations of being bribed by the Chinese. So the world is very angry against China. The next is a very unfortunate thing. There are trade wars happening, trade retaliation is happening, and there is protectionism world over. We are going to see all those things. Finally, in India, this is banks not lending, it's not related to the rest of the world. In India, banks are not lending because they are saddled with bad debts. And they have parked around 8.4 lakh crores with RBI in reverse repo. I will explain later. But this also gives us an opportunity for possible reforms in India. I personally feel there will be a lot of reforms in labor, power sector, agriculture, and land procurement. Next slide, sir. Okay, what is the current economic situation? See, most of us, whether we are in business or in employment, we all have the habit of blaming the government. Now, obviously, government is responsible to do something, but we have to understand in a lockdown situation like us, the one who's most affected is the government, because an Indian government every day collects taxes worth around 6,575. And during lockdown, there are no taxes collected. At least in the month of May, there were no taxes collected. And to give a stimulus to the economy, they postponed payment of a lot of taxes, like GST. People were allowed to postpone it till June 30th. Advance refunds were made. One of my companies, which had a refund of less than 5 lakhs, they got a refund. Waivers were made. So not only are they not receiving revenue, they are also letting go some revenue. Divestment, which was around, and this year the divestment target was 1.2 lakh crores, that has completely come to a stop. Social spending expectation is there for social spending, defense spending. Unfortunately, at this time, we are also having to replenish a lot of our ammunition and defense spending because of our unfriendly neighbor. And finally, many companies, including public sector companies, are expecting a bailout. Next slide, sir. Okay, let us come to the policies, politics, and challenges and opportunities that are unfolding. Policies, international policies. First, almost all countries have immediately gone for localization. After the WTO treaty, the whole world was thinking that every country should increase trade with each other. But in the incident, domestic unemployment has increased. So every country wants to win election. See, unfortunate situation of democracy is we have to win election. If we have to win election, people will have to vote for us, which means you should have freebies. A lot of countries, including developed countries, have started putting restrictions. US has put H1B restrictions. Kuwait has clearly given an instruction that migrant population has to be brought down to 30 and local Arabs will have to be employed. Oman has asked all their state-owned companies to fire expats, including the gas company. Oman is a major producer of oil and this thing. Qatar has told that expat salaries have to be cut by 30%. India is also taking some of those things, but not so openly because we are still an exporter of labor rather than an importer of labor. All central banks have come out in support of their economy. All the European central banks, like our RBI, has pumped money, which means they have all printed cash and distributed. This is a good side right now, but progressively we will face inflation, which is another thing that we will have to face. But I'll give you one simple example that the US has done. And I'm wondering why a country like India is not doing. And I'll tell you the reason why a country like India is not doing. US government Boeing was in distress because Boeing sells a lot of passenger aircrafts. But Boeing's another main line of business is also making this, military aircraft. But Boeing was almost going down. So US government issued bonds for 25 billion. Using that, Boeing was able to raise another 60 billion. Now, if you see the Reserve Bank of US, they call it a central bank or federal bank, like our RBI, has actually directly invested in a company. But in India, we are very hesitant to take a step because the moment RBI or any one of the banks are asked to invest in the private sector, immediately the opposition will say that these people are fine, supporting corporates, and therefore RBI only has taken liquidity measures rather than investing directly. The experience of US Federal Fed is always been whenever there has been a crisis and whenever they invested in private sector companies, the American Fed has made a lot of money. In 1970s, they invested in three, companies which are making cars: Ford, General Motors, and Chevy. These three companies were getting into a stage where they were getting bankrupt. They invested in that company. Within 5 years, they sold those shares and made a lot of money. In 2008 crisis, they invested in a lot of big companies like Fannie Mae and even the housing finance companies and everything. And they once again made money. India also should be politically mature to have the courage to invest in private sector, because private sector contributes most of the taxes and provides a lot of employment now. Private sector is no more something to be ignored about, where you come only for collecting money and ignore that. But hopefully, both Congress and BJP and everyone in this country build the political maturity where the central banks can come and invest in companies directly. Because if you invest in a big company like IOC, it has a lot of downstream companies. BHEL has got a lot of downstream companies. The same way, a big private company also has a lot of downstream companies which are dependent on it. Let us say Ashok Leyland or a Telco. You go to Pune, the entire economy is dependent on Bajaj Auto and Telco and all these companies. Hopefully, we will see the day. The other major policy change worldwide that has happened is European Union has signed a free trade agreement with Vietnam. Now, why have I quoted this particular country? We are all talking that a lot of business will go out of China. The small country which has gained the maximum business of coming out of China is Vietnam. And because of this free trade agreement, lot of the news that we read in the papers, we don't associate with our business. Our garment industry will get affected because Indian garment industry is taxed at 9.6% versus it's going to be 0% for Vietnam now. And 30% of Indian garment exports is to European Union. Next slide, please. Okay, the other way, politics. Now coming to politics internationally, this is a major step. Trump has invited India to be part of G7. Now this is a very clear sign on two aspects. The whole world is looking at using India to balance China, number one. The whole world thinks that India's time has come. So G7 is the group of 7 major developed countries which meet again, and they try to see how the world economy can be changed. US feels that the time for India has come. It is also a strategic move to initiate, needle China, and that is why we are facing the problem at Ladakh also. China doesn't like India to be coming on equal. In Asia, it wants to be the undisputed leader. If you look at the 5 permanent members of the UN, 3 are from Europe, 1 is from America, and 1 is from Asia. China wants to be the undisputed Asian leader. So they don't like whenever India is compared to China. So the challenge we face in border is because of that. If you look at it, how China is beginning to affect us, India was a major exporter of pork to China. A lot of us, we don't know, because pork is the staple food of Chinese. China stopped importing pork, saying that Assam has got a small disease which is getting into pork. Actually, the disease came long back and it was cured also long back. But they're using every small things to stop business. This is how the world economies fight for political space. Third, very powerful thing. US has ordered a ban on Huawei's chips. Huawei is a major telecom manufacturer. They are also going to be a major player in 5G, and they are cheap, and they are going to be a major player along with Ericsson and other players. US has said that Huawei is a military-owned company. It's a warning to other countries, and they also want Huawei chips not to be available in Indian things. See, already most of the CCTV cameras in India, have chips made from a company called High-Tech in China. And it is supposed that High-Tech is also a military company, or a military-owned company in China, which means a lot of the CCTVs that we are recording, maybe somewhere it is also recorded in China. We don't know that, okay? But I'm just telling you. So these are things which have been spotted. Why is this significant? Just to implement this order, US is going to spend a lot of money, because Huawei chips are there even in their space program. It is there in a lot of their military establishment. They are in their fighter aircrafts. But US has bitten this thing, and they said, no, Huawei chips will not be available anymore in any one of this place. The fourth thing, European Union slaps tariffs on China for aid-based trade. Why is this significant? China is like a rat. It will find its hole and find a way to trade. What had happened was, because there were a lot of trade restrictions on some of their items, they helped Egypt to set up a free trade zone in Suez Canal. And they funded heavily for that money. And in turn, they made the government of Egypt give some benefits to two companies which are making fiberglass in that free trade zone, so that they can have a cost-effective access to Europe. Now, these were things which were never retaliated before, which were known. But European Union for the first time found out this thing, and they have plugged that gap. And China has been using this route even to enter India. We are stopping a lot of Chinese origin goods, but they are coming through Singapore, they are coming through Vietnam. So it is finding all ways. They are very, very smart people, but the world today wants to stop it. And that is why these trade slaps, these trade barriers are coming. Countries like a lot of countries which are beginning to get militarily affected by China have decided to shift their businesses away from China. One has been Japan, which has announced an aid for companies to shift out. Korea, South Korea has started shifting. And that is why last week, North Korea had a bomb blast very close to South Korea's border. These are all indication and threats, because there are two countries which are client states of China. One is Pakistan, another is North Korea. So Pakistan will be used to trouble India, and North Korea will be used to trouble South Korea, because South Korea is also a major competitor in engineering industry with China. Another thing is, because China is having a military dominance in South China Sea, Taiwan, Japan, Philippines, all of them are getting worried. And takeover of Hong Kong was the last straw for all the Western countries, because when Hong Kong was handed over to China, there was an agreement that China will have two systems in the same country, and US was also a signatory to that. The moment China withdrew or moved away from that, that is when the whole world stood up and said, now this is a country which we should not trust anymore. And the benefit of it can flow to India. If India is able to reduce corruption, we are able to increase the speed of business, and we are also able to get competitive. We will see what will make it competitive. Twitter, very, very interesting this thing. Twitter deleted 1.7 lakh fake Twitter accounts, which was used by China to spread messages across the world. See, Twitter itself is banned in China. Twitter is banned, but Twitter was used by China to promote a lot of fake news. Earlier, countries like Russia and Turkey used this to reach out to their domestic population while voting. But China was able to use it to propagate a lot of lies to world. So these are all the things which are happening in the world, which we have to gather. Next slide, please. Okay, now what are all the policies that have happened in national level? While we are all blaming the government for a lot of things, we are all worried about Corona and all those things, a lot of positive things have happened in the country, and I am duty bound to come and submit all those things. First is RBI monetary policy. The repo rate is the rate at which RBI lends to bank. Suddenly, let's say SBI comes out with a loan mela, they have distributed 1,000 crores. They don't have 1,000 crores, so they can go to RBI and borrow. That has been reduced by 200 basis points. In 1 year, 2% interest rate has come down. It has never happened in the history of India. So 2% interest rate has come down. Whether our interest rate paid to the banks has come down or not, we have to go and fight for it. But RBI has reduced the interest by 2% over a period of 1 year. Reverse repo rate has been brought down to 3 points. Reverse repo is whenever banks have surplus money, if they don't find lenders, they can go and park it. That has been brought down to 3.35. Usually there is only a 0.5% difference, but this time there is 0.65%. But still banks are not lending. Okay, there is around 8 lakh crores of money parked by banks in RBI. Okay, CRR has been cut, and these are all small this thing. So what has happened is a whole lot of liquidity has been bought into the system. Government has not given direct aids, but they have made the system flush with money so that banks are forced to lend, or businesses who have good balance sheet can go and borrow at much cheaper rates. They have also extended other things which are ridiculous, but largely on a policy level, this is a major step. 2, investment restrictions on neighbors. Basically, it is directed against China because China had bought many premium companies in Europe. Ferrari, a lot of companies have been bought by them. So this was beginning to happen in India also. HDFC Bank was targeted by them because that's the second largest bank today in India. It was being targeted. So immediately they brought in a restriction where neighbors, because they can't say it is against China, so they said all neighbors, where investment from them will be scrutinized. But China is still finding a way to come through Singapore and Mauritius, with whom we have some special trade agreements. The third announcement was securitization of standard assets. This is a technical thing, but this will have a very long, I know there's a banker in this forum also, this will have a very long-term impact on increasing the depth of the debt market. So certain banks will be good in lending, certain banks will be good in sourcing of FDs. So banks which are good in lending can convert that itself into a product and sell it to another bank, and they can go about for keep a margin and sell it to someone, and they can keep going about lending. So this will increase the depth of the domestic bond market. Manrega, the Nurnal Valley Vaipathitam, that has been front loaded. Usually Varsham fulla selavu pandradhukku, they are beginning to spend it right now, so that all the migrants who have gone back to their native places are able to find employment. See, one good thing that has happened to our country this year is our reservoirs are already at 50% level even when the monsoon is starting, which means we are going to have a great crop this year. Already India has stock of 3 years of food consumption, rice and wheat. For the next 3 years requirement is already stored with us. We have excess availability of food grains. Plus we are going to have a bumper harvest this year, which means food sufficiency is going to be good. Rural economy is going to be very, very good. Already you can see Mahindra tractor sales have gone up. So a lot of us, instead of focusing our businesses on city, if we can start focusing on rural areas, tier 2 and tier 3 cities, that is where the business is going to happen this year. The next one is the classification change of MSME. Anyway, I put it on this slide. When it is shared, you can see what they have made it is they have become more accommodative on this stance. There is already something called as an MSME code, where if there is someone who has not paid you, you go. I know a friend of mine who was able to get his money from a public sector company, pending for more than 6 years in less than 60 days. The payment was pending, item supplied in tender, payment pending for 6 years. He was able to get back that money in 6 months going through MSME code. So the MSME scope has been increased, which will help in raising of capital. It will also help you with other benefits. And finally, government has raised the minimum support price once again for agriculture season this year, but they have done something very, very wisely. They have increased the minimum support price for oil seeds and pulses more than food grains, because we already have a surplus of food grains, and they want to achieve self-sufficiency in import of oil seeds, because what is happening, India is still importing a lot of oil, palm oil from Malaysia and Indonesia, and a lot of sunflower from Russian countries, CIS countries. So this year they have increased the support price so that our self-sufficiency in pulses can be increased. Next slide, please. Okay, another major policy change which will have a long-term. See, a lot of us in business, we can think, how are these policies going to affect us? Trust me, how these will happen. Ration card portability. What has happened this year, one of the failures of the government was they never expected people to walk 500 kilometers and reach their home. So migration was an issue which government didn't predict, because they never had any data of how many migrant laborers are working in each city or town. And ration card portability has already been signed by most states, which will allow the migrant to go and give it to any ration card nearby and start procuring, which means the government can track the migrants and they can create a lot of infrastructure. Let us say a huge number of people have moved from Andhra to, let us say, Madhya Pradesh. They can open an Andhra medium school in that particular location. So the direct benefit transfers can go to your, migrants, and it can help solve a lot of social issues. Then the new Uday scheme for power sector. See, power sector is one of the biggest area which requires reforms in our country. One of the reasons Indian manufacturing is not competitive is because our power cost is very, very high. very, very high. And most of the other countries which are competitive in manufacturing, their power cost is low. Power cost is very high to us because the state electricity board give free power to farmers, and to recover the cost, they charge the corporates and the industries. And this free power and other things also doesn't give them money to invest on infrastructure, and they keep on borrowing and they're always at loss. So the Uday Power Scheme is going to compensate the power sector. This is the second scheme to compensate the state electricity board, provided they are taking steps towards privatization. They're beginning to take steps towards payment of benefits directly to the farmers instead of giving it as a subsidy. Because if you give it as a subsidy, a MP will take a connection, agricultural connection, and he will use it for AC of his own house. So here, just like the gas subsidy is given directly now, the government wants to now actually look at, see whether the subsidies, the state electricity boards can give subsidy to the consumers and the cards rather than other people. Then there's a draft electricity bill which is coming. This can change the lives for us the way the telecommunication, this thing happened. See what has happened today, telecommunication has improved because we have the choice of number portability. Draft electricity bill has been tabled now. This year they are planning to pass the bill. The monsoon session of parliament has been called for now. It will be placed in the monsoon session. Earlier 3 attempts by Congress and BJP was failed because of three reasons. Now in this bill, they have allowed the state electricity board to have a sub-license for distribution. The last mile connectivity, they have allowed sub-license also. So Tamil Nadu Electricity Board can hire smaller companies for the last mile distribution. They have brought in a regulator who can decide on what are the payment disputes between the electricity board and the companies. And transmission and distribution, earlier draft bills were separate. They said the company which transports the power from generation to the electricity board and distributing it to the households have to be separate. Now they have agreed that it can be together. And another very, very powerful thing that has happened, which is once again going to change the face we consume power, is National Power Exchange. National Power Exchange oda advantage enna appdin kettingna, any industry or anyone who is a bulk customer of power can actually buy power 31 hours before consumption. So let us say you are going to have a major event, Rotary is going to conduct a major event. They can just buy power 1 hour before. So I need 1 megawatt for so and so time. So the power can be bought in half-an-hour blocks. This has taken off and it's a huge success. The power rates available at surplus time is 2 rupees 20 paise, and we are paying 8 rupees. So both power producers and power consumers can slowly start buying and selling power in half-an-hour blocks. It can reduce our cost of manufacture. Similarly, gas exchange is planned. Now, Gas Authority of India Limited is the monopoly. Now, what the government wants to do is, the gas can be another way the manufacturing cost can be brought down. So instead of using coal or electricity to heat a furnace, if you use a gas, it can be bought on. So government want gas to be used in furnace and also for home supply. So just like the power exchange, gas exchange will be available where both the consumers and the suppliers can negotiate and buy it online, just like a National Stock Exchange or a Bombay Stock Exchange, you buy online and thereby reduce the cost. Coal exchange has been planned. Once again, why is coal exchange now we are able to plan? Government has deregulated coal production. Earlier, Coal India Limited and Singareni Coalfields were the only 2 nationalized companies which are allowed to, take coal. Other than if you have it for your own Tata, Tata Steel had their own in-house this thing, but you are never able to use it for selling it to others. Now coal has been deregulated, and they are planning to have a coal exchange so that once again furnaces and big industry can directly buy it from the producers, and private sector auctions are going to be allowed where private sector can go and participate. Now, a lot of us are worried that our existing businesses are not there. Please notice there are also opportunities for us to get into new businesses. And no more power companies will have to have a predetermined fuel supply agreement with Coal India or Singareni. They can always go to another power coal producer and buy it. Whenever private sector has come into an industry, whenever competition has come, the cost to the consumer has always reduced. We have seen that happening in insurance. We have seen that happening in telecommunication. You will see that happening in power also. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, what are the major events that has happened? While we are all worried that this is going wrong and that is going wrong, what are all the major events that has happened? The major event, one of the major events that has happened is, see, 1.68 lakh crores were mobilized by Reliance in 58 days. Now, a lot of us can say so many things, but we have to appreciate one fact that 1 year back in the company board meeting, the the managing director, chairman and managing director announced that in 1 year we'll become debt free. What he was planning to do was to sell stakes to Saudi. Saudi has, just like we have Indian Oil and other thing, Saudi has a big company called Aramco, which is basically into selling of their oil produce. So he was planning to sell that his stakes to Aramco, but that didn't happen because oil prices fell down. So immediately he started selling his Jio, and he has raised 1.68 lakh crores in 58 days. And today the company is actually become positive. They don't have loan. The amount of cash they have versus the amount of loans they have, their amount of cash in hand is more than the amount of loans that they have. 2, Netflix has gained 16 million users, which means we all know what is the future of entertainment. Future of entertainment may not be movie theaters now, but OTT platforms. So even the way the movies are made will change. Teleserials will gain credibility over movies because a creative director is able to exhibit and express more when he has got more time. And we are already seeing during this period, our own children are actually, my children only watch serials. I mean, the teleserial, not the what comes in television, but what comes in OTT platform. So the younger generation is very clearly moving away from theaters. Hero-based movies will come down. Content-based movies will increase. There's a lot of opportunity for businessmen to get into this segment. Third one, HDFC acquired 6.43% of Reliance Capital. This was basically promoter had pledged his capital. Anil Ambani, between the two brothers, actually, unfortunately, is not doing well. And he couldn't repay the loan, though he's selling all his company. He sold his mutual fund company. He's planning to sell his life insurance company, a whole lot of things. And his pledge, because he didn't pay the loan, HDFC as a bank acquired that stake. Banks today have that this thing to acquire your company's stake if you don't pay. Now, why am I saying that? If you would have built 30 years to build a successful company, because you chose not to pay, the company can go out of you. We have already seen SR losing their company, Bhushan Stool losing their company. They have all lost it through NCLT. But HDFC, even before taking it to NCLT, has acquired that stake. Then there are companies, even during this market, who have been able to spend their money on buying back shares or increasing their stakes or delisting. So companies which have maintained cash in the system have used this crisis as an opportunity to make more money. Which side do we want to be? Do we want to be on the side which is borrowing money, or do we want to be in the side where we can buy new companies using the money that we have? Then there is another huge story which actually went unreported. We are all blaming our system, right? We blame that India is good for nothing. Actually, India is very good in crisis. The problem with India is we are never someone who is planned. Whenever crises come, then we all become, all North Indian, South Indian become friend, and then we all try to fight a common enemy and everything. But see, one thing happened. Immediately as the COVID crisis unfolded, India was importing the cotton swabs which are used to test at 18 rupees from China, and India didn't like it. So the Ministry of Textile originated a con call between Johnson & Johnson and Reliance. And they said, why can't we make this swabs? And Johnson & Johnson said, I can do it because I already make earbuds. I have to make a longer one and thinner one. I need this fiber. So Reliance said, I will be able to give you that PSF, polyester staple fiber, which you can use it to use it. So Johnson & Johnson, though it's a foreign company, agreed to donate the technology free of cost. And they had a contract manufacturer called Adi Industries based in Gujarat. And he transferred the technology free of cost. Adi Industries was given that textile from the nearby dealer of Reliance. He made that swab. He took a charter flight, went to Pune, gave it to the certifying body. They asked for some correction. He went back to Pune, his place, made that, came back, and within 24 hours it was passed and the production for that started. And you know what was the cost of the swab that was being manufactured? 1 rupee 70 paise against almost 17 rupees that we were importing. So our cost of making that swab has come down by to 1/10. And now we are importing further machinery so that the production can be increased from 1 lakh swabs to 6 lakh swabs. And the cost can come down from 170 to 1. And all these things happened because one government ministry took this thing to connect two corporates. And today, not only cotton swabs, India is also going to become a net exporter of personal protective equipments. So miracles do happen in India. Whether we want to be a part of an ecosystem which creates a miracle, or we want to be a company which will wait for the miracles to happen, is what each entrepreneur has to think. The next one is what is the way forward? Where are we looking and where are we planning? Which are the things that we need to move forward? I think one slide we have slipped, sir. Can you go to the previous? Just before that. Yes. The other policy, which has a very powerful policy, which has been announced, is the production-linked incentive scheme has been announced for electronic manufacture. India wants to become, apart from software, become the center of electronic manufacture, because electronic manufacture also goes along with embedded software. So a lot of the Apple and Samsung, they are looking to shift to India. So there's an incentive scheme that has been launched. So anyone who is into electronic industry and can get into contract manufacturing can have a lot of positivity. And one of the biggest reforms that we have seen after, I will say this is a blockbuster of a reform after the Narasimha Rao liberalization, is the agriculture reforms. Now, agriculture, what was the challenge we had? We had something called as Mandi system or the Agricultural Produce Marketing Committee. They were the most corrupt system. People used to charge 8% brokerage to the seller and 8% brokerage to the buyer, and there was, my middlemen were making a lot of money. The need to go through a Mandi has been completely removed. And because it has been removed and private sector entry into agriculture has been allowed, now you will see farmers will be able to enter into contract manufacturing. A lot of public, private sector investment is now possible in storage of agriculture goods, transportation of goods from the farmer to the consumer, and exports. A lot of online companies have already come. This year, Punjab and Haryana, the procurement, nearly 20% of the procurement has happened from private online platforms. So you book, the farmer need not go to the mandi and be at the mercy of the fellow who is buying there. Rather, they can book their produce in slots. Even the transportation was arranged by the platform owner. This is the way. So there is a lot of opportunity available if you are able to provide a platform in any country for any produce where you are able to connect the consumer to the producer. This will bring down the cost to the consumer. It will increase the income for the producer. This is a major reform which no one knows. In 3 to 4 years, you can see the farmer income actually doubling because of increase in procurement price, reduction in wastage, and also because it is contracted. UP has already waived the mandis. Tamil Nadu has passed an ordinance. It's a very big reform. So next one, please. The next one. Okay, the next one is what the future holds for us. We have been fairly into this thing. Now we are coming towards the end. What is the future holds for us? See, one thing is very, very certain. Remote operations seems to be the way of life. As we move forward, at least for a company like me, we thought that we will never be able to do a remote operation. There was a lady who wanted to take a maternity leave and she said, can I work from home? We said, we'll pay you the salary, but whenever you come from work, you should only come to the office, but you can never work from home. Today, I am very convinced that work from home is a cheaper operation to my company rather than work from office, because the productivity of working from home is far greater. A company like me have created a complete alternate back office in Coimbatore. I've been able to reduce the employment cost. Coimbatore, I'm able to get people at 60% of the cost of people that I'm getting at Chennai. They are far more efficient and their travel time is less and their productivity is higher. So remote working is going to become the way of life, whether we like it or not. Because from all we see, the whole lockdown can be extended by another 1 month. Mamta Didi has already announced, and all the chief ministers will now follow suit. Trains have been extended till August 15th. So lockdown seems to be extending. So this has become a way of life. So in remote operations, when you do is not important. When you deliver becomes very, very important. Because earlier, transportation was assured. Now there are a lot of instances. So delivery becomes very, very important. You will have to work backwards rather than frontwards. Where you deliver is also very important. I mean, where you deliver is not important. Whether you deliver becomes very, very important. Because dependability of you as a supplier is more important than relationship now. Because where is the possibility of a relationship? You can't take a purchase manager for a five-star hotel and give him a treat now. It is impossible. So delivery becomes measurable now. So whether you deliver becomes very important. All of us are going to see reduced employment cost. To the extent we are worried about the business, to the same extent employees are also worried about loss of job. A lot of people in 40s have lost a job. Another reason we will get reduced employment cost is a lot of people are going to return from Gulf. Are we as a company ready to get this talented group of people? People who are coming from Gulf will bring a lot of professionalism. They also know the Indian salaries will be lesser. They'll be happy to come back to the country. Are we ready to employ them? And because we are going to go to the second tier, we are going to see a lot of manpower going to second tier and third tier villages. If we can take our business there, our cost of operation can come down. Zoho has a 3,000 to 6,000 seater capacity in a town called Tenkasi. That is going to become a major cost advantage for him. My accounts team actually now works from Tenkasi, not Tenkasi, Tirunelveli actually. So I have one accountant who is not placed in. My entire account is no more in office. I started it almost 3 months back. So even before this lockdown, I had shifted my entire accounts to Tirunelveli. I get a cheap labor and a very competent labor because he doesn't want to come here because his parents are there. But because we were able to have it there because of the technology, I get a cheap labor and at a much lower cost. So whether we can take portions of our business to these small towns, instead of waiting for those migrants to come here, whether we can take them there and provide them the comfort and get the mobility. Definitely, we will all have to invest in technology and process and software. If we don't have a process going forward, depending on people will become difficult because people will keep changing. So we need to invest on technology in the form of software and hardware, and we have to set up a process so that it can start working remotely. Trust me, your cost benefit ratios will be very, very high. You don't need big offices. You don't need to see their face. They will have the luxury of working at their time and delivering on time. The real estate, commercial real estate cost will definitely come down. Mall cost, everything. Already you are seeing, DLF in Delhi has offered a waiver of all their renters. They're even looking at long-term renegotiation of rate because for him, even to retain people is going to become different. Even big companies like Apple worldwide are shutting down their, experience centers and trying to do it online. So commercial real estate for sure will come down. You will see that TCS has very clearly said going forward 75% of their employees will work from home. So which means there is a need for all these big commercial real estate. Digitization will become a norm of doing business in all our life. I go to walking, I see a fellow who is selling Nellika and Goyaka, and he has got Amazon Pay in his play. And within 1 hour, everything is sold. ஸோ ஒரு நெல்லிக்காய் விற்கிறவனால ஆன்லைன் பிஸ்னஸ் பண்ண முடியுதுங்கிறப்ப நம்மளால ஏன் பண்ண முடியாது? ஸோ ஹையர் டிஜிட்டைசேஷன் இஸ் எ வே ஃபார் சர்வைவல். Door delivery of products will happen. Governments have realized, Delhi government, West Bengal government, lot of governments have allowed Zomato and Swiggy to go and deliver liquor. Government is thinking that my revenue is important and they are willing to go and deliver. So why is it that we can't do that? We definitely need to think differently and we have to go and deliver, find a way to deliver our goods. Telemedicine. Doctors are very scared of meeting patients. I have an ophthalmologist friend whose case his business is back to normal because he is invested in a software where remotely he is able to diagnose. So he's charging a little bit more, but he's also offering this using the mobile phone. The customer can show the patient can show his eyes and he's able to do. So telemedicine is becoming a reality. Tele-education, all those people who have invested in big engineering colleges, please understand, going forward, most of the classes will happen only online. Both my children are only having online classes for their college, including my daughter is doing fashion technology. Even for her, submission is stitch the dress, put it, take a video and submit. Okay. So what you're going to say is you're going to have 5 days of online class and 1 day maybe come to the college, share your, or once in a month you come to the college, share your this thing and go back. So all the big rooms that we are building, we have to relook at how education, people in education business will have to build strong platforms so that one good teacher can deliver content to 300 people instead of 30 people in a class. So your cost of teaching will come down. Farm to customer, which we have already covered. Next slide, sir. Okay, some of the inputs that I will give as a financial in this period, what is it we put our energy and attention on is going to define whether we are going to be successful. We have to focus on cash flow right now than profits, because having the cash in hand makes you this thing. It is okay this year if you don't make big profits, but please ensure your collections are spot on. Do business where your collection is certain, because having a cash flow now will ensure that you are alive. Cash in hand is better than having loans. All those companies which took loans, including Future Group is planning to sell their insurance business. They are planning to sell their business to Reliance. Anyone who has taken excessive loan is struggling to do business. Companies which have cash in hand are able to acquire good businesses at a great rate. So avoid the tendency to borrow even if RBI gives you moratorium. The banker comes and says take 20 lakhs more. Avoid the tendency to borrow, rather focus on collection and try to keep cash. So if you have cash in hand, you will get a lot more opportunity. Maybe you will get purchase cost, you will come down, machinery cost will come down. You'll be able to negotiate a better rate with your supplier. Please avoid investment in property right now. I know as businessmen, we all have a tendency to do it. Cash is king. Maybe you can buy property only if you have some unaccounted money. Otherwise, having cash in the system will give you phenomenal opportunities as you go forward. Between purchase of property and rent, please go for rent at least, because not only does it become an expense, if you purchase, you only get depreciation benefit, but when you rent it out, you can expense it out, and you have ability to scale up or scale down. And more importantly, first you can trial whether you need this place. Only when you need this place, for sure, maybe at a later point you can look at buying. And when I'm talking of purchases as rent, I'm not only talking of property. It can even be a machinery. If you're planning to put a new CNC machine, see whether you can take it on rent for 1 or 2 months. And then if you feel that the cost to benefit ratio is higher, then you buy. So any capital expense also, instead of straight away buying, if you can take a used machine, see whether it is working for you, the numbers are working for you, then you go for purchase. Between turnover and collection, please stop focusing on top line. Please start focusing on collection. And the quality of sale is more important than the quantity of sale now. Advance versus credit. Please learn the habit of taking advance. When I was in stockbroking, a lot of stockbrokers failed because there was one thing called as margin mechanism. Subsequently, margin mechanism came and today stockbrokers are alive. Giving credit is like actually giving cash. It is actually like lending to someone. Many people in business, we think its credit is okay. Just sit back and think, if that person individually comes to you and asks for a loan, will you give him loan? If you will not give him loan, then don't give credit to him. Because we are failing to understand giving credit is actually lending to that person. If that person is off, we don't know. So if you are actually going to lend it to a friend, a classmate of yours, he comes and asks you 1 lakh, will you not check up with all your other friends whether this fellow is credit worthy or not? But while giving business credit, we don't even think. We think, yaar, business may credit dena hai. How will it happen? So it is like, please understand, giving credit is lending. So unless you know very well about the person, please don't give credit in these conditions. Even if he's a good person, if he doesn't get the cash, he will go under NCLT and he will protect himself. Ask for an advance. And advance is not about the money. It also shows the intention of the person who is buying. So you can check the intention and you can use the cash flow to make your bet. Reduce your line items. See, one of the things which we do in this business is a great time for you to reflect and apply 80-20 rule. 80% of your business will come only from 20% of your item. See if there are certain line items which you are actually stocking and manufacturing and which sells once in a month. Stop it. Get rid of those items which are actually not very big. Use the 80-20 principle. Dispose unsold inventory. Unsold inventory adds working capital to you, and you are paying interest for unsold thing. Just cut that loss and get out, so that you will have the cash in hand. Maybe your outstanding with the banker will come down and you will save on interest cost. Tata Nano, even though it was a much tom-tommed idea, Tata was ruthless to stop it. That is what is corporate wisdom. Finally, this is not an age to compete. This is an age to collaborate. See, even amongst the industry, there will be someone having surplus capacity. Use the surplus capacity instead of replicating that capacity. People within the industry will have to learn to collaborate and use their respective brand. See, big companies like Renault. See, if you see the Renault factory here, Nissan and Renault are collaborating. Toyota and Honda is collaborating. Toyota Glanza and I think one of the Honda cars, Maruti Baleno and Toyota Glanza are one and the same this thing, but it is manufactured at Maruti's plant and Toyota is selling it as Glanza. Quid and another thing. So Nissan product and this thing Renault product, they make the same product, but they have two names. So when different companies can collaborate, why is it that big companies, why is it people like us cannot collaborate with other people? This is not the time to compete and waste your energy and capital. Use common infrastructure. Collaborate with people. Bring down your cost of production. Next slide, sir, please. Okay, then the other which forgotten thing is, lot of us, we have to understand one thing is, this is also the time where we don't have any unexpected outflows. Most of us we are prepared for our sale margin. We are never prepared for our unexpected thing. This is not a time where we can survive an accident in our business. So ensure that you have sufficient fire policies, because many times business we renew the fire insurance without seeing whether we are adequately insured. 10 years back, you would have been doing 1 crore turnover and you would have had 60 lakh stock or 50 lakh stock. Now your stock would have come to 6 crores, but maybe you are still insuring only for lower amount. Burglary and theft, because people, lot of inequality is there. People can break into your factory, take it and run. Fire policies also allow you for compound wall reimbursement without having to pay any additional premium. It can cover replacement. Many people don't know road widening projects or something. If the compound wall is broken, just a tick mark in your fire policy can ensure that you get a reimbursement for that. Take machinery breakdown policy. A lot of companies who have shut down for 2 to 3 months, when they came and started, most of the machineries were not working. If you had a machinery breakdown policy along with fire policy, you would have got a reimbursement. So people having CNCs and costly spares, please ensure that you have machinery breakdown, especially hospitals. One of our customers was able to get a very big reimbursement for 40% of his equipment cost. One of his probes went off. So having a machinery breakdown for factories is a very good way of reducing your risk. See, there are so much of risk outside in the market. You don't want some known risk to come and disturb. If you are a company which is moving a lot of cash, please have a cash transit insurance, because today most people need, and if they know someone is carrying cash, they will mug him. In motor transport, it is once again done routinely. Use a right person so that total loss is adequately covered. The second point is very, very important. Right now, retaining your employees is very, very important, and keeping them in working condition is very, very important. If possible, take a group medical. There is a corona specific policies are also available. And the third item, workman compensation. That's a very, very important thing for all your contract laborers. It's an unnamed policy. The first one and second one, GMC and GP, are named policies. You can take it for all your regular employees. For your temporary employees, workman compensation is very, very important, because any incident happens now, the award is very, very high. Workman compensation is decided by the collector, and there's an unlimited liability on medical expense now. For a very small premium, even for one, you can take this even for, I had a painter in my house for 2 days. For 2 days, I took a workman compensation for him. This has benefited more number of people than even a fire policy. And then finally, if you are traveling or anyone is traveling, please ensure there's a travel insurance. Next slide, sir. Third is business continuity. Not many people know there is a policy called business interruption policy, but the second one is very, very important, trade credit policy. See, overall, the credit quality in the Indian market or world over has decreased considerably. There's something called as a trade credit policy. If your buyer doesn't pay you money, the insurance company compensates you for that. Okay. Who should take it? Anyone who is into commodity-based business like steel or firewood or something or paper, where your volume is value is high but margin is small. So when your value is high and margin is small, even one default will set you back by a couple of years. A trade credit policy is a very good way of protecting yourself from defaults of your buyers. He would have been a good buyer with you for 5-6 years. And one day he defaults, you are set back by 5 to 6 years. And especially if you're dealing with food grains, you can't even go and retrieve the goods because someone would have already consumed it. The second one is marine transport and directors and officers and errors and omission. Errors and omission is more for software companies. Director and officers, any one of us who are a director today and for a pollution control case or any one of us, someone can sue us and D&O policies will help us protect that. Finally, industry specific. If you're a doctor or an architect or a chartered accountant, chartered accountants earlier was a different case. Now, because there are a lot of bank frauds and NBFC frauds, any chartered accountant who is signing as a statutory auditor is actually becoming, though we put a sentence that to the best of the documents submitted to us, today are being arrested and they are also being questioned. So a professional indemnity for doctors especially, and maybe a little bit of chartered accountants and architects, because if the building falls down, your 5 generation of this thing can go. So these are small things you can do. And if you have a boiler, please ensure that you have boiler. If you're a contractor, there's something called as contract. If you're an event manager, please take a event cancellation. Next slide, please. Okay, what is the way forward? This is going to be the last slide. As an enterprise, as an entrepreneur, there are industries which have suffered, and there are a lot of industries which have got created, like the PPE and other things. Many people have got benefited. What is it that we can do? We can keep complaining, nothing is happening, or we can use it as an opportunity to connect with all the existing customers. Always remember that getting a business from existing customer is easier than getting a business from a new customer, because with the existing customer, the trust is already established. He knows you. So use this as a time to reach out to all your existing customers, inquire about their health, and see whether they can give you some references for your business. That is one thing. Every day I'm calling at least 3 to 4 of my customers, and it's a nice way to get, they are speaking more than before. Earlier, the conversation used to be 2 to 3 minutes. Now it's 20, 30 minutes because everyone has time. But what you can actually see is that they are also happy to refer you customers. So acquisition of customer is coming at zero cost. Some of those people who are in service industry or product warranties, see whether you can use extending the warranty as a way to retain the customer. Any small benefit that you are doing right now will be always remembered. Any amount of good things you do when they are doing well, they will never remember. But one small good thing you do when they are in a problem, they will remember it for life. If they don't remember, please make sure that you remind them. But extending a warranty or extending a service contract is one of the good ways to retain the customer. And don't do it when they ask. Do it before they ask. And they say, you can always say that this is what I'm doing. Please use digital platforms to reach customers. Forget that we are going to take our bag, go meet people and do it. Your entire sales team and you should be in a position to use things like Zoom and Skype and other things to reach to your customers, speak to them, have the presentation so that the customers can understand and sell. Incorporate QR based payment in your website. Please remember the fellow who is selling Goyaka and the gooseberries. He is able to use QR based payment. How many people have a QR based payment in our website? My industry is different. No one pays directly money to me. But if your industry customers are paying, please ensure that you have a QR based system available in your website so that people can scan it and make a payment. Integrate it along with your ERP and accounting system. Improve your supply line and see whether you can identify alternate suppliers. If you go to sites like IndiaMart and other things, you'll be able to get an access to a lot of suppliers. See whether you can broaden your supplier base, because not all your suppliers may have the cash to deliver on time right now. So don't wait for him to fail. Go ahead of time. You have a lot of time right now because you're not traveling to work for 1 hour. So 1 hour each way is 2 hours of additional time you get. see whether you can identify new alternate this thing, and have 10 to 20% of business be given to these new people so that you are increasing your funnel. Decongest operations. See, this is a good time for us to phase out people who are not performing. During this period when we were working from home, we realized 2 or 3 of our employees never wanted to pick up the phone. For them, it was a paid holidays. We quietly found a way to make them away. We realized that so far they were actually a burden on us. And we hired people in Coimbatore and other places where they are more efficient. This is a good time for you to eliminate all those people who are riding on you. Please collaborate with competitors. Outsource non-critical work. I really don't know whether accounts is needed as a part of your team right now. Outsource non-critical work. Post-COVID, finally, lot of businesses will come back to normal, sir. For some businesses, it will be immediately as soon as the lockdown is lifted. For some businesses like hotels or hospitality or any one of those things in entertainment, it will be late. But the key point is, when it turns normal, are we ready? Have we cleaned our system and are we ready for these opportunities? Because this COVID lockdown and the time that we are working from home, whether we have used it well or we have not used it well, that is the defining thing. So whoever is going to be successful after this are the people who use these 20, 30 days or 60 days very, very efficiently to iron out all the wrinkles in his organization. And that way, I think even this education session series that you are having in Rotary is a great effort. But are you able to qualify yourself better? Are you able to identify the wrinkles and iron out? People who have worked very hard during this COVID will come out with flashing guns because their business is going to take off much better than others. Because after COVID, please remember, only the most efficient will survive. I want to end with a statement by Charles Darwin, which has been my motivation for life. It is not the strongest of the species, nor the fastest, nor the most intelligent, but the one most adaptable to change that survives. It's basically a theory of evolution, but I think it holds good for all the businessmen, how we have used this holiday to become better or become fatter. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sundar, for your excellent presentation. Thank you. Well said. Now, கோவிடுக்கு முன்னாடி வந்து ஃபோன்ஸ்லாம் ஸ்கூலில் அலௌட் இல்லைன்னாங்க. இப்போ என்டையர் ஸ்கூல்ஸ் காலேஜஸே ஸ்கூல் ஃபோனுக்குள்ளே தான் இருக்குது. Well said. I request for members, if you have any doubts, you can ask Sundareshwar.
This is Karthik here. First, I like to thank Pala and President to get a speaker like Sundar. I'm so happy that you made all the effort to come here and then speak with us. Wonderful presentation, sir. Very informative and very knowledgeable. In fact, what you have been saying on outsourcing is a business where I am into for last 20 years. Okay. And previously it was outsourcing. Then it was called offshoring. Then it is a right shoring now. So what you have been doing and what I've been saying is completely matching with right shoring, which is the latest phenomena for last 5-6 years. You identify talent and then you rely on the talent and then develop the talent. That is what the way forward. And the last few information on the future and other things. In fact, I had a discussion with our past president V. Sridhar, President Shivaram, and Motish a month back. It is all in line. I'm happy that I have some good thoughts, which is matching your thoughts. So, yeah. Thanks a lot for the information and presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Karthik. Any questions? Nandu, yeah.
Yeah. It was, I think, wonderful speech and presentation. நிறைய விஷயம் வந்து எங்க மனசுக்குள்ள क्वेश्चनா இருக்குது, டவுட்டா இருக்குறதெல்லாம் வந்து நிறைய நீங்க பேசிட்டீங்க. It was very good. ஒரு question I just wanted to ask is like when you said that the money flow, what we have to be assured of. இப்போ பாத்தீங்கன்னு வெச்சுங்களா, like I'm sure there will be a lot of other business people also having a similar question. Where இப்போ நாங்க வந்து ஒரு I'm into interior contracting and this thing. Like இப்போ நாங்க வந்து ஒரு ப்ராஜெக்ட் முடிச்சிட்டு then we start the work, as you said, we start with the work with advance. அப்புறம் போக என்ன கடைசியில வந்து அது முடிங்க வாங்கிக்கோங்க, முடிச்சிட்டு வாங்கிக்கோங்க. அந்த முடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் அந்த வாங்கிக்கோங்கன்ற ஒரு வார்த்தை வரவே வராது கிளைண்ட் கிட்ட இருந்து. So அந்த ஒரு சிச்சுவேஷன்ல வந்து we are still getting stuck. And normally what happens is business people like us, அந்த ப்ராஃபிட்டை தான் மட்டும் கடைசியில வச்சுக்கோம். Because அந்த கேபிட்டல் இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட்டை வந்து நம்ம we try to use it for the material, சரி எப்படியோ ப்ராஃபிட் நம்ம கடைசியில எடுத்துக்கலாம் அப்படின்ற வருது. அப்ப அந்த மாதிரி சிச்சுவேஷன்ல how do we do?
என்னன்னா, I understand what you are having is a very genuine thing, but I'll tell you one incident. There's a company called Carl Zeiss. Okay, they were selling when I used to run a previous company which was selling medical equipment. The entire medical equipment industry used to work only on credits. So Carl Zeiss was a company where they used to sell microscope for 3,30,000, where all the other competition was selling at 30,000 rupees. And you know what was their terms and conditions? Their condition was 100% advance, delivery after 8 weeks, and no negotiation. And the price is 10 times what the other competition is. And they were able to always do business with these terms. And they were still the number one microscope company in the world. So when I asked them how they are able to do it, they said that we focus on what is in our control and don't worry about what is not in our control. What is in our control? Quality is our control. The terms and condition is in our control. And initially we suffered, but then these terms and condition helped us to move forward. What is the realization we had at that point of time was, credit is a state of mind. It is not a state of availability of cash. So subsequently, taking inspiration from that company, in my medical equipment business, we never gave credit. And we had zero bad debts. Till such time, we were giving credit and we had bad debts. So maybe my answer is not direct, but the point is, giving a credit or not is your thought, number one. But I know of an interior contractor who used to do it very, very smartly. He will say, sir, he will work out everything and he will say, sir, this is your total project cost. This is my margin. My margin, I'll take it last minute. Only thing is, to avoid lot of things, all the payments you do directly. And whenever lorry comes, the person who is given the order, he will have to keep paying the different vendors. He will say, these are my list of vendors. You give it to your accounts. When I tell only, you release a payment. So the payment was always made by the customer to the vendors. And obviously, you know, there is a cushion built into it, and the buyer also knows. And finally, he will say, are you satisfied, sir? And then he will say, suppose his margin was 1 lakh or 2 lakhs, he will say, finally, the owner will either give it or say, Illa panic, I'm not happy, I will reduce 25,000. But the loss was only restricted to that. We never had a capital loss. So that's something that I learned from him. I'm not saying you follow it up, you are the best judge of your business. But please remember, extending credit is only a thought process. It is never availability of business or nor an availability of cash. It is always a thought process. Most goods, sir, you go and buy a product in a shop. You like a shirt, only if you don't pay, you can't take it out.
But these businesses are, sorry.
No, I understand. I perfectly understand.
Businesses are more of reference-based businesses.
Sir, I perfectly understand.
And the question, the power is off. The question is more that how can we ensure, for example, you said you can have some insurance and all those stuff. Do we have insurance for such flaws also?
Yeah, there is a trade credit policy. See, trade credit policy will be useful for big businesses because the minimum premium in that is 8 lakhs. Okay. So for your business, I will not suggest that. I think for your business, I would only suggest better negotiation and play it a little bit smart. You know, like try to make him pay for the goods directly. See, there is no fixed answer because
that's a different model. That's a
slightly model. We have to think through this, sir. Yeah, இந்த டைம்ல வந்து கிரெடிட் கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா ரொம்ப கஷ்டம் சார் காசு.
கரெக்ட்.
அதனால we have to be a little bit using our mind to wriggle out of this situation. With a little bit, you can be open. This is my margin, but please help me with the thing. Most people will understand. Most people, if the relationship that you claim that you have, if you have it with the customer, he will understand and he will be able to.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Sundarji. Vinodji, Midaji, please unmute yourself and ask question. Midaji, please unmute yourself. Yeah.
Hi, this is VK Midda.
Hello, sir.
Sundar, I handle medical devices, and you have a lot of experience already on the medical front. I would appreciate the points you have made, and it's really good. The entire talk was impressive. I was planning in the morning that I will leave the session by 10:30 because sometimes, these topics are good for some people. But you have made me stick on till the last. I really appreciate and thank you so much. Your one point was very impressive in saying that in these times, please keep in touch. Please keep in touch with your customers. They will remember you forever. Now, the only question what I have is the digital platform, what you have suggested to be in touch with them. These guys, the purchase guys in the hospitals, they seem to be having no time, always. So how do we overcome this? Your suggestion, please.
Okay, good, sir. So what I have realized is there are, there is still a baggage we follow that every time we reach out people, we have to be connecting to them immediately. I have the same challenge as yours because there are certain customers of us who work in different time zones. So what I do is I just record a message and say, "Hi, Mark, how are you? I know you are at a different time zone. I just wanted to check up whether you and your family are fine. How is Nancy? How is Tom doing? How are his classes? I just called to check you up, mate. If everything is fine, please feel free to call me back whenever you have time, maybe on the weekend. I will be happy to take your call." And you will not believe, whenever I leave a message like this, even in a WhatsApp recorded message, people appreciate it. Because even they are not actually looking to connect. They only want to be remembered and know that, hey, he called me. Good man, you remembered. No, no one called me. So this is exactly what Mark told me. Okay, that no one called me, man. Suddenly I'm an unknown face in this whole world, except my wife and children. So thank you so much for calling me. So what happens, Mr. Mira, is it is not necessary that we have to always connect to that person on one-to-one. Sometimes if you are not able to reach them, the hospital people, they're busy, just leave a recorded message. You know what? I know you're working very hard in your hospital. Things should be really tough. But please take some time and spend some time with your family. And if there's anything I can be of help, I'll be glad to pick your phone up at any point of time. Small messages of concern, offer to help, offer to support will go a long way. I'll tell you one small example, sir. I used to sell an equipment called digital radiography, and we went to Southern Railway. We had a lot of competition there, and we were a small player. GE was there, Siemens was there. One day, the radiologist fell ill and he was admitted. I went with a small Horlicks bottle and met him. Horlicks bottle was some 52 rupees or 70 rupees at that point of time. And subsequently, after 3 months, when he became well, I got that order for 1.5 crores. No, actually, my idea was not to bribe him with a Horlicks bottle. But he said, when I was ill, no bugger came to see me. You are the only fellow who came to see me. Tell me what I should do so that you win this order. I said, sir, I don't want you to do anything. Just be fair and don't differentiate between me and Siemens. And finally, when the tender bids were open, obviously I was the L1. We got the order. And today, I sold the company now. But even now that, so a lot of times, it's not that we have to connect. It's just our intention is communicated to them. Our offer of help is communicated to them. It really goes a long way in cementing. This is just I'm much younger than you, but it's a small thing. So.
I really appreciate your suggestion and we'll try to implement in our company. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's very impressive.
Thank you, Sundar. Any other questions? Last question. So here, a lot of ISSM students are participating in large numbers.
Okay.
ISSM students, anybody is interested to share their comments? Any questions?
Or maybe they can appreciate.
Anyway, Mr. Bala, I think I've shared the presentation also. I made a PDF only to be shared.
Yes, sir. Definitely, sir.
So thank you,
Sundar. Thank you so much, Sundar. Now move on to next one. So word of thanks. Dear all, thank you so much, Sundar sir, for participating in our Arivam session today and sharing with us your views on your topic that is relevant today, COVID-19 and its impacts. My thanks to the ISSM members, other than large members. In the topic is they participated in large numbers. They show the interest. Thank you all ISSM members participated here. As always, the RCG family has never failed in the encouragement. Thank you for all support, RCGians. Last but not least, my great thanks to all the sweet hands who stepped in நான் மார்னிங் 10 மினிட்ஸ் முன்னாடி தான் நான் எல்லா ஆனட்ஸ்க்கும் ஃபோன் பண்ணேன், ஆனட் ரியா அண்ட் காளீஸ்வர் அண்ட் வருண். They said immediately, they said, okay, I will deliver thought for the day, I will deliver vote of thanks, four-way test, I will introduce the speaker. They said immediately, say all ANATs. I really thank all the ANATs accepting my request. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sundar, once again for your excellent thoughts. It's very useful for our members because most of our RCG members is into the business. It's a very useful. COVID முன்னாடி எப்படி பண்ணோம், அப்புறம் எப்படி பண்ணணும், எப்படி how to improve the business. You explained in a very well in your own style. Thank you so much, Sundar. It's very, very helpful for us in the needy time. We do not know what is going to happen after COVID. Everybody is in blank.
Second floor.
You explained in an excellent way, Sundar, because what Midaji told, because in the beginning he said I'm going to leave half an hour, that because he's still here because he's very much happy about your speech. So thank you so much, Sundar sir.
Thank you, sir.
And next is last one is Monday we have a speaker with us, DGP Radhakrishnan. He's a retired DGP. He is going to talk about the legal aspect of COVID-19 and legal points of the Sathan-Kulam issues. So it's a very important topic. I request all the RCGNs and ISM students and all members, and Sundar sir, you are also most welcome on Monday session. So it's a very important topic. Thank you once again for all the RCGNs and members and ISM students. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Bala.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thanks, Bala. Thanks, Sundar. Thanks.
You, Bala.
Good show, good show.
Very
Good,
nice.
very good talk, Sundarji. Very good talk. Thank you.
Enjoy. Thank you.
Yes. Nareshji, welcome.
Supporting the government to full lockdown tomorrow. So yes, we're moving session on Monday. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay, bye.
Ji.
நரேஜி, அமரண்ணா வந்திருக்காரு. அமரண்ணா, அமர்ஜி, அதே ஸ்டைல்ல இருக்கீங்க 7 நாளா, அதே ஸ்டைல்ல வரீங்க.
அப்படியே பிக்ஸ் ஆயிட்டாரு.
மேக்கப் மேன் வச்சிருக்காரு போல இருக்கு. மேக்கப் மேன் இருக்காங்களா சார்? அம்மா சார்.
இல்ல சார் அவர் அங்க ஊருக்கு போனோடனே ரொம்ப தெளிவாயிட்டார் சார் அவரு. அவர் பேக்ரவுண்ட் ஷர்ட்லாம் பாருங்க, அரசியல்வாதி மாதிரி ஒயிட் ஷர்ட்லாம் போட்டுட்டு.
திருநெல்வேலி அல்வாதான்
வாங்க மேடம்.
ஆர்சிஜி மாதிரி. கங்க்ராச்சுலேஷன்.
வாங்க மேடம். வசந்தி மேடம், வெல்கம். சூப்பர்.
அருமையா இருந்தது. நான் சொன்ன மாதிரி பட்டமடப்பாய், திருநெல்வேலி அல்வா எல்லாம் செம்ம பிராண்ட். மொத்தமா ஆர்சிஜில இருக்கீங்க. வாழ்க.
ஓகே மேடம். தேங்க்யூ மேடம். என்ன ஸ்ரீதரம், வீடியோ எடுத்துட்டீங்க?
இல்ல இருங்க போட்டோம். சூப்பர். சொல்லுங்க ஜி.
சூப்பரா இருந்தது.
ஆமா, இப்ப ஐஎஸ்எம் ஸ்டூடண்ட்ஸ் இருக்காங்க, இப்ப அது கேளுங்களா, ஃப்ரீ ஆயிட்டாங்க. சொல்லுங்க, யாராவது சொல்லுங்க. ஐஎஸ்எம் ஸ்டூடண்ட்ஸ் உங்க வியூ சொல்லுங்க, என்ன எப்படி ஃபீல் பண்ணீங்க? ஹலோ, யாரும் பேசவே மாட்டாங்க போல இருக்கு. இல்ல யாரும் பேசிட்டே இருக்காங்க, அன்மியூட் பண்ணா பேசுறாங்களா?
இல்ல, யாரும் பேசல.
ஓகே, சரி. அப்போ 2 மார்க் கம்மியா போட சொல்லிடலாம் அவங்களோட பேப்பர்ல.
ஓகே,
இவங்க ரிப்ளை பண்ண. ஓகேங்க,
ஓகே, சரி போகலாம். பாய் அமர் ஸ்ரீதரன், பாய் ரமேஷ், பாய். ஓகே, பாய். Thank you Amar.
Thank you.